I am to report there's been a lot of warfare going on underneath my floors, all right? The Navy SEALs and GRU know that, but I'm just reporting this. After this report, you will not see any trace of me on the internet for up to 26 hours. I'm gone off the internet. The rancheros that keep coming here are sent in by Vladimir Putin with his Colombian coke lords, okay? These drug lords have been working with the United States politicians and Trump for many years. This was not what the original plan was for the stealing, the robbing, the thievery of my sovereign territory by Iran. Iran military consists of Russian and Iranian military. They are the carbon copy, these two militaries, of the German army in World War II. They are out to do the exact same thing, okay? It's not for cocaine. It's not for crystal meth. It's not religiously driven. With some of the Iranian military's members, yes, it absolutely is. But not with the ones who orchestrated this with Saudi Arabia since 1992. Saudi Arabia and Iran had a deal worked out, a full-on absolute deal. I don't like to use that word, but this is what organized crime and really evil military who would deal with organized crime would make a deal. And this deal was set and agreed on and promised by Bill Clinton. Okay, and before that, it was brought to Bill Clinton by the KKK, who was planning a coup in our United States Armed Services, who are largely and still to this day based out of Hawaii. They've been there since World War II, okay? I know that everybody knows this, and we can do pop quiz. All right, this is our history, so I'm glad you do. Okay. The original seizure and thievery of our sovereign territory consisted of massive and major ethnic cleansing and a major attack and bombing that was for 7 days, planned on my legally acknowledged United States Armed Services. That's the over 60% who were targeted on the bases while they slept at night with their children. Okay? This is in the past. It's the same as Russia. Vladimir Putin was planning to do this to that military there. This is clear why now the US and the Russian military are the same military, and we are a new country, and they will explain this all to you. And some of the people in the new country are the same ones as before, like me and these US Armed Service members. Exactly. It's still us. We just reformed our government because our government tried to give its territory away through treason to the Middle East, terrorists, and to the totalitarian regime of Iran. All right, and this was for a white power dictatorship, which Putin had a lot of promise on. Okay, so Putin's a sore loser, and he doesn't seem to learn. No, and he keeps sending in. Once the basic military attack, which the West points and these type of scholars would use as logic and reason for an attack, okay? I'm not saying they do this. I'm just saying it's a rational, understood one. It's not by crazy people, right? Okay, that's when Trump and Putin got desperate and started handing this off, which was on my account, to the organized crime, to all of the mob, to all of the drug lords, whoever could finance and all this, right? They were the third uncle in this. This has been on my accounts for 5 years. The mob took over, and at that point is how we get into these messes like we are here at 1509 S Street Northwest, Washington, D.C., where you have an ISIS, Iranian-backed terrorist cell that was taken over by drug lords. And this is how you saw so many Hispanic suddenly flocking everywhere, okay, because there's Trump and the organized crime with Putin. Putin's big in Brazil, he's big in Latin America, he's a dirty cop. This was part of the army for the great world caliphate in Iran's eyes. But the caliphate failed, and a lot of the Iranian government and military didn't stop when they should have. Okay? The consequences of that is there's no more Iran. There's no more Saudi Arabia. There's no more UAE. There's no more Bahrain. And they know it, and they're sitting waiting for it. They are. The Saudi prince is bracing for it. And what we have right now is a whole bunch of drug traffickers involved with ISIS, who is actually drug traffickers. They're not real Muslims. And you have the Al-Qaeda, who are not real Muslims. This has been proven back and forth in this house, which I am glad that I exposed that. They're not real Muslim terrorists. No, they're doing it for drugs and a lot of money. And their habit, they have a habit like you wouldn't believe. Drug habit. Okay. So all that stuff you see on the Navy SEALs about betrayal to the Muslims is fucking all on TV, dude. The only fucking Muslim terrorists that you can say live up to that is the Pakistani and some of these Muslim terrorists out of Iran are really big on the Muslim Brotherhood, some of them out of Egypt. That's about it, dude. The rest of them are just riding on the tails and full of caca. They pass themselves off as these dangerous, religiously driven psychopaths. They're not. They're drug traffickers. And they were protected, and this sort of lies about them was spread through the U.S. because, right, since 1992, Saudi Arabia has been in control of all this. Okay, yeah, and 9/11, exactly, when we were hit, they were in control of that too. Because Bill Clinton was way before Bush. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is fact, is proven, and here we are today with more evidence of how in trouble and how intertwined the U.S. government was with the Middle East terrorists. And so in their panic to not get busted for being white terrorists, white Christian terrorists, all right, who got intertwined with the Middle East terrorists in order to have white power dominate their country and to attack their own military, they panicked when it didn't work out initially in 2017. This was one of these, you have to talk to a military expert, but this was one of the plans they had that it couldn't fail. If it failed, you really can't do it again. And these Putins, who are dirty cops, way involved with the Russian mob and all these drug dealers, just couldn't hear failure. They're sorry losers. And Trump and these type of, yes, egomaniacs and stuff. Zelensky is one. He's just an egomaniac mobster. He's Israeli organized crime. So they couldn't take no for an answer, so they kept going to all these drug lords. And that's when this place, this S Street Northwest chemical weapons system, which is a really, really big fucking deal. It is. They brought in all the speed and meth manufacturing in here, which was on my account because I witnessed it all. I said to the GRU, I said, they're making fucking meth in here now on a major scale. I'm going to do a part 2. Hold on.